Here's what overwhelm means. It means you're learning. The problem with overwhelm that makes people want to quit is the things that get triggered in the overwhelm of learning. When we're up against a new edge and we're trying something new, all these things come into mind, and I said, where does it come from? And I went through 4 generations of my mom said that, don't get your hopes up, and had all this shit. My grandma was big on it takes pain to be da-da-da. My great-grandmother was like, struggling is a way of life, and that means you're living. So all these fucked up beliefs about new things, it triggered a negative response, and then that causes you to downward spiral into other things. And that's just the importance of why we need to heal our shit. Successful people, they don't have those triggers. They've already processed them. They've already leaned into it and cleared them. And they know how to see afterburn of overwhelm that's been triggered. They're like, oh, that's not true. Let me get back to what my thing is, right? So that's the importance of healing our shit. Now, overwhelm is a low vibe only if you get triggered in a negative way and start to act out of, I should do, what if I don't do, clinging on tightly, da-da-da. And I'm queen of that shit. Every matter of fact, you're watching me process a new level, okay? Breaking into this $60,000 a month thing, like it is fucking not comfortable, but I've been here before. And what usually took me, like I said, would take me a month or 4 or 5 months to process through. I'm doing it within days, within minutes, within hours. And, every level you go to, it's going to be a new thing. Every new body weight, every new hormone shift that you go through, every new workout that you go through and you get challenged, every new coach, every new program, working with me, I'm going to roll out new programs. That's just how it is. And you paid for it. You're going to get access to it, but you're going to be like, oh shit, Casey just launches. How does that work? It's overwhelmed. You may want to put it off. It may seem like another thing and you're overwhelmed. Guess what? That's normal. Successful people get it. Successful people know, just like when I first hired my first mentor and I put that $3,000 on a credit card to fly across the country from a little girl from like Buchanan, Georgia, that's never even flown anywhere, much less done it by herself, much less like what? That was overwhelming. Like I would get sick because of so much fear, just all this stuff. And I'm even I can feel my immune system breaking down now because I'm so scared. And I've really, working through all that stuff. But back then to scaling now where I can make payments to pay $36,000, like big monthly payments, and pay $10,000 in ad spend. Like I can pay these big payments out, like basically $20,000 I can pay out every month. Not even on credit. That's just what I'm making. Plus I can live and, drive nice cars. That's how much more money I have now. And when I paid that coach, it was kind of like, at first it was like a fuck yeah, because I know what's on the other side of this. They're going to tell me exactly what to do to get to the next level. That happens every time because now I know what that discomfort feels like. And I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. The next level, because I thought in my mind was going to be one thing, but I really had still like this other shoe thing. It can't be this good. It can't be this easy. Bam, here we are again, coming back up where the overwhelm and then the triggers of the overwhelm we've been fighting. That's just what we're going through right now. And what it means is that I can look at the overwhelm. Now I see it like, here's how I talk to myself now. All right, girl, look. You got your shit written down. Obviously you feel that because there's these beliefs in you that are thinking like this and they're not true. What do you actually know is true? Y'all know I ask myself all these questions. What does the future version of yourself say if you already had the thing? If this wasn't even a question and you knew the exact right next step to do and that was going to work and you trusted the outcome and da-da-da, how would you show up? Like working through all that, doing all that. Also, sticking to soul time, like extra soul time. All right, so today, not a lot of sleep because of what's going on, and I'm getting excited. I'm getting these fucking downloads at night, and apparently only setting time aside to do that because there's so much resistance around working through this particular trigger. So that's how I'm processing it now, and it's definitely coming through. It's me figuring it out, okay? And that's what I share with you, knowing that once we're here, y'all, this is what's really cool. Once we're at this place, once we're at the new level, it's always up and up. We don't have to start over again. If we feel like we're starting over again, it's only something that we're telling ourselves because we still feel unworthy and we can't even see how far we've come. Last night, Dan, one of my coaches said, mindset is the most important thing for any entrepreneur and for anybody that's trying to be something better than what they are now. Mindset's everything. And he goes, if you don't think that yours is good, go take a look in your local Facebook group, like where you live, city, Facebook group, and he goes, go look at the conversations. You'll feel better about yourself immediately. And that's so true. Yet it's hard for us sometimes to see how far we've come, and that everything does get to be better and better. And we're just going through triggers. They're not true. And it's just a new level, all this stuff. And we're constantly reframing and constantly rewriting. But I wanted to tell you, overwhelm will eventually feel like excitement. Overwhelm will eventually feel like motivation. So if overwhelm feels negative to you, it's only because there's some triggers in you, some beliefs that need to be addressed beneath the surface. Because overwhelm just means you're learning. It just means overwhelm can be a good thing. Just like I went over new. Why do we associate new experiences, new coaches, new programs as something negative? Successful people don't. Seriously, I just told you stories of when I viewed it negative and positive. Successful people don't view new coaches and new programs as overwhelmed. If you get in and you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, that means that's how much shit you got to process, and that's cool. It can be easy, it can be fast, depending on how willing you are to see things differently and see it for what it is. Like, oh, okay, I'm feeling really fucking discouraged. I'm feeling really stupid. I'm feeling really scared that I'm not going to do it right. That's how you're really feeling. You're not feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling scared. You're feeling inferior and unimportant, and that you're feeling threatened that if you don't get it right. Your feelings are triggers from the past. Those things are what needs to be healed and what Hot Moms is all about, so that you can get on with feeling a little of fear and moving on anyway, because it's not true. It's all old bullshit and beliefs that can be addressed. Okay? It's what we went over yesterday about the short shorts, the short whore shorts. You may have been not wearing short shorts because you thought they made you a whore, when really that was a fucked up belief that your chauvinistic, fucked up of a little boy syndrome your dad had about it, because he was a shitty fucking wounded ass male in a masculine wounded energy. And now you're like, oh my God, I get to wear the fucking shorts. I love these short shorts. They feel good. They feel like I can move, and I like how they make my ass look. That's awesome. High five, girl. You know what I'm saying? That's how overwhelm is. It's like you're viewing overwhelm. We are viewing overwhelm as a negative thing, when really we were taught all these other things, that when we experience something new, something bad can happen. We're going to drop the ball. We're going to be stupid. We're going to get seen about. People are going to find out how stupid we fucking are. What if, we're going to fail? We're not good enough. And that's what we're running from. And if you'll just lean into that and do the processing work that I teach you here in the programs, you'll fucking breeze through it, right? So here we are. I would say that when I'm feeling, which I have had those moments of, and then I'm like, bitch, we know that's not the truth. Let's get down to actually what needs to be done in your soul, what needs to be done, because everything that's ever come from you has been spot on. And same thing with you. Everything that you've ever put your heart and soul into, truly, without sacrificing yourself, has worked out beautifully. You've gotten exactly what you wanted, but better. And that's what we're going to do here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So go do the work. Know that overwhelm just means you're learning. Overwhelm means you're leveling up. The negative emotions associated with overwhelm is the things that need to be leaned into and processed, because those are where maybe there's some negative non-serving soul beliefs there that just need to be reframed.